Isekai anime tend to be both imaginative and fun with loads of heart. The Isekai genre focuses on characters that are transported to other worlds and must find a way to survive while usually completing some kind of mission or quest. The entire premise of the genre allows for action, introspection, personal growth, and fantastic animation. Many anime that fall into the Isekai genre are released every year, with some of them going on to be utter classics. The sheer number of anime classics that reside in this genre are too numerous to count. Due to allowing creators to let their imaginations run wild, the Isekai genre is fertile land for some of the best storytelling in all of anime. So in this video I will show you top 10 new Isekai anime where main character is overpowered. Before I start the ranking, please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon. So let's get start the ranking. Number 10. Cho, high school prodigies have it easy even in another world. 7 Japanese high school students enjoy international renown for their remarkable talents. One day, these friends survive a plane crash only to find themselves in the medieval fantasy world of Freyjagard, where two human races live side by side in a feudal society: the Bayuma, who have animal features and formidable strength, and the Hyuma, who have a small chance of magical aptitude. After being rescued by the Bayuma Winona and her adopted elven daughter Larul, the group pledges to use their advanced skills and knowledge to pay back the people of Elm Village for their hospitality and find a way to return back home. Tsukazama Kagami, the Prime Minister of Japan, acts as the leader of these young geniuses and organizes their efforts to intervene in Freyjagard and gather the information and resources necessary for achieving their goals. Believing that there is a connection between their current situation and an ancient legend about 7 heroes from another world who defeated an evil dragon, Tsukasa directs the others to learn about the culture around them and search for any clues leading them back to Earth. But he also gives another instruction: to take it nice and easy, lest they ruin this world by giving it their all. Number 9. I am standing on 1 million lives. Yotsuya Yusuke along with his classmates Shindo and Hikozaki Kyusu have been transported to a strange and unknown world inhabited by mythological creatures. As soon as they arrive, they meet somebody calling himself the Game Master, who then grants them a time-limited quest. To aid them in this quest, he also bestows Shindo and Hikozaki with the roles of a magician and a warrior, while Yotsuya is randomly granted the role of a farmer. This is how a hectic life of adventuring began for 3 students who now have no choice but to complete random quests for several phases in the fantasy world if they want to stay alive and protect the real world from the demons and monsters they encounter. Number 8. Jobless Reincarnation. Despite being bullied, scorned, and oppressed all of his life, a 34-year-old Shoten still found the resolve to attempt something heroic, only for it to end in a tragic accident. But in a twist of fate, he awakens in another world as Rudius Grey Rat, starting life again as a baby born to 2 loving parents. Preserving his memories and knowledge from his previous life, Rudius quickly adapts to his new environment. With the mind of a grown adult, he starts to display magical talent that exceeds all expectations, honing his skill with the help of a mage named Roxy Mygurdia. Rudius learns swordplay from his father, Paul, and meets Sylphiad, a girl his age who quickly becomes his closest friend. As Rudius' second chance at life begins, he tries to make the most of his new opportunity while conquering his traumatic past. And perhaps, one day, he may find the one thing he could not find in his old world: love. Number 7. The Saint's magic power is omnipotent. Since ancient times, the citizens of Salutania have lived within a shroud of miasma, a force that brings forth monsters creating havoc around the world. When the kingdom's order of knights becomes incapable of containing the monsters, the Grand Maga summons a holy maiden, the legendary saint, to obliterate the horrid creatures and restore peace. One evening, as Takanashi returns home from a long day at work, a magical force pulls her into a foreign world. Upon her arrival to the kingdom of Salutania, she overhears that the Grand Magus inadvertently summoned two saints, and a brown-haired girl. Needing only one holy maiden, the prince declares the other girl as the saint, leaving to her own devices. Sets her sight on the Medicinal Flora Research Institute, an establishment known for its studies regarding herbs and potions. While indulging in her latest passion, has a fateful encounter with the commander of the Third Order of Knights. But little does she know, her aptitude as a saint will continue to exert its influence over her new life. Number 6. The Master of Ragnarok and Blesser of Einherjar. Some urban legends are best left untested. Yoto Suwao gets more than he bargained for when he joins his childhood friend Mitsuki Shimoya in testing out an urban legend. When he uses his phone to take a picture of himself with the local shrine's divine mirror, he is whisked off into another world, one heavily steeped in the lore of the Old Norse myths. Using his knowledge gained from school and from his solar-powered smartphone, he has the chance to bring the Wolf Clan, the same people who cared for him, to prominence, all while earning the adoration of a group of magic-wielding warrior maidens known as the Einherjar. Number 5. Arifureta, From Commonplace to World's Strongest. The ordinary life of 17-year-old otaku Hajime Nagamo is disrupted when he and his classmates are summoned to a fantasy world and tasked with saving mankind. While his classmates are gifted with impressive abilities useful in combat, Hajime is belittled for only gaining an inferior transmutation skill that lacks any real offensive power. During an expedition in the Great Orcus Labyrinth, Hajime is betrayed by one of his classmates, plummeting him to the bottom of an abyss. Though he survives the fall, Hajime is faced with menacing monsters and misfortunes that send him spiraling into a grim nightmare. Desperate to live and return home one day, he resolves to fight for his survival, only to meet an imprisoned vampire he names Yu, who is also seeking to escape the labyrinth. Taking an interest in him, Yu and a few others along the way accompany Hajime on his journey to find a way back home, while steadily transforming from commonplace to the world's strongest. Number 4. Death March to the Parallel World. Ichiro Suzuki, a programmer nearing his 30s, is drowning in work. Worn out, he eventually has a chance to catch up on sleep, only to wake up and discover himself in a fantasy rebounds per game world, which is mashed together from the games he was debugging in reality. In this new place, he realizes that not only has his appearance changed to a younger version of himself, but his name has also changed to Satu, a nickname he used while running beta tests on games. However, before Satu can fully grasp his situation, an army of lizardmen launch an assault on him. Forced to cast a powerful spell in retaliation, Satu wipes them out completely and his level is boosted to 310, effectively maximizing his stats. Now, as a high-leveled adventurer armed with a plethora of skills and no way to return to reality, Satu sets out to explore this magical new world. Number 3. Okasan Online. Forming a party with one's mother in an online game seems not only unlikely but also uncomfortable to most teenage gamers. Unfortunately, Masato Oizuki finds himself in that exact scenario. After completing a seemingly meaningless survey, he is thrown into the world of a fantasy_spell_merc_ and his mother Mamako actually tagged along with him. On top of all of that, Mamako turns out to be an overpowered swordswoman, possessing the power of 2-hit multi-target attacks. After minor tension between the two, they search for party members, meeting the merchant Porta and the sage Wise, starting their journey to clear the game. Number 2. Problem children are coming from another world. Ise Oizukamaki, Asuka Kudu and Yukasuke are extraordinary teenagers who are blessed with psychic powers but completely fed up with their disproportionately mundane lives, until, unexpectedly, each of them receives a strange envelope containing an invitation to a mysterious place known as Little Garden. Inexplicably dropped into a vast new world, the trio is greeted by Kurouzagi, who explains that they have been given a once-in-a-lifetime chance to participate in special high-stakes games using their abilities. In order to take part, however, they must first join a community. Learning that Kurouzagi's community No Names has lost its official status and bountiful land due to their defeat at the hands of a demon lord, the group sets off to help reclaim their new home's dignity, eager to protect its residents and explore the excitement that Little Garden has to offer. Number 1. Full Dive. The ultimate next general full dive rebounds per game is even shittier than real life. 10 years ago, at the peak of the Vermo development industry, a game titled Kiwame Quest entered the scene with potential like no other. Boasting a colossal total of 10 sextillion branches of possible story scenarios, this game pursued ultimate realism, ranging from human-like NPCs to the perfect replication of all senses and physical abilities. But it soon became apparent that the game was too realistic, and the popularity of Vermos in general gradually began to plunge. At present, due to an accident a few years prior, the high school student Hiroshi Yuki now immerses himself in full dive RPGs as a form of escapism. After failing to acquire the latest version of his favorite game, Hiroshi stumbles upon a game shop and meets its beautiful clerk Ryona Kisaragi, who convinces him to buy a copy of Kiwame Quest so that they can play together. The first time Hiroshi plays the game, he marvels at the realism it offers. However, his astonishment is short-lived as he sets off a series of misfortunes, quickly realizing that the game is even worse than his already stressful life. Nevertheless, Hiroshi still finds himself logging on again despite his growing contempt for the game. With no do-overs in his current disadvantageous situation, Hiroshi only has one goal: clearing the game.